Hello and welcome to today's video. This is the picture what I am going to recreate today, and I did search and found out that it would be Dorian Cleavenger's artwork, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's his. But anyways, I have applied my bold cap already. I actually painted it white already because I have used this same one like 2 years and it's so dirty colored, like all the colors are there, so I'm just not gonna show how it looks like, and I painted it already with my clown white paint. So I first started sketching this body part, and I am doing this first and then move to the face, and this pen is from the Morphe High maintenance liner, and on the middle of the bones I'm just tapping on this Kryolan Clown white color, the same what I used on my head. I'm grabbing now the Grimas Creme Makeup 501 color. I'm using it on end of the every bone, kind of like so the white would be on the middle and the red one, it kind of fades to the red and to the black later on. Now I'm just using the Mehron's black paint just to line everything and fill the holes or gaps what there is. The palette what I'm using mostly on this look is the Morphe Coca-Cola's palette. Now when everything is lined, I am just picking up this light beige color and the skin color and just a little bit blending the red one out, even though I will be using actually a little darker brown later on. I take the red eyeshadow on there, the more brighter one, and just start shadowing these bones. And using it just only the same spots as before, and just deepening the color and also adding some more little bit like details on the edges. Now I'm just picking up the little bit darker brown on the palette. It's the First Rose 4th shade if you have the palette. Using that a little bit on the edges, same part where I used the lighter brown. Now I just start darkening everything, and this black is the Morphe and James Charles palettes black, but you can use any black you want. And I am just going on top of these lines what I made, like shadowing them a little bit inwards, these bones, and also darkening all the bones. For the neck, I'm taking this black a little bit more further, because when I'm watching straight, I still want the black to show, so I'm just taking it a little bit more down the black color, and also a little bit shading these other small details also. Now I'm taking the two darker browns on the palette, and I start making these small details for these bones, because they otherwise would be quite lame. So just making these small lines with the two darker brown color, just to bring them more up and that they would look more reel. I actually did last year a Cenobite look. I really liked that one. There's the baby on my shoulder, and there's also a video of it on this YouTube channel, so if you are interested you can just go check it out. Now I'm just making these middle bones, and for these ones I am also using the red shade, and with the red and browns I am just shading these as in the picture, or trying to watch how it's in the picture and do the same. And just using this small brush and also making those little details on these ones also. With this white Mehron paint I am just highlighting every bone a little bit where I think it would look good. So some for the middle, these lines, and then a little bit also kind of like lining the outlines of these bones with the white one. And last thing what is left is this middle part. So I'm just using, first I used the black paint just to make like small lines there, and I shade everything with the black eyeshadow, and then using a little bit the brown ones to shade. And I add these little highlights with the white paint in the middle. After this body is done, and I'm moving on to the face. I am using actually skin adhesive at the moment, and I am applying this latex piece what I made before. I actually didn't have, or I don't have yet, my own face cast. I'm actually working on it. I was actually cracking up while doing this because I look at so ridiculous. But anyways, so I actually applied small layers of latex on mask, on top of the mask. It's not my face shaped, so the nose, it doesn't really fit on my face, but it did come quite decent, and this doesn't need to be perfect. So I applied it skin adhesive, and now I'm just cutting these eye holes and this mouth hole a little bit differently, since I only applied it how the face mask was, or top of it. So I'm just cutting it a little bit more. Be careful with the scissors if you do this. After that, I have made this circle thing where I'm applying these latex parts later, and I am just attaching it on my head with the skin adhesive. I made this with aluminum tie wire, and the spikes are the cocktail sticks, and yeah, I applied actually the latex on top of the stick so I can apply it with the skin adhesive later on. And now I'm just sewing these parts into this headpiece using just normal red. And I'm actually doing this side first, and I will not show how I made the other side since I made them at the same way, so I didn't film the other side at all. And I'm usually all over the place while doing my face paints, like I'm doing like everything at the same time, so it's quite hard to make videos later on with these ones. But now that I have applied the two of those onto the circle thing, I am starting to use this red cream paint on top of the latex. I actually hate painting latex because I don't have the alcohol activated paints, and I don't know, I think they would just work so much better, but I have never tried, so hard to say. But anyways, so I am just applying this red color on every edge and just shading it. If there's like some sort of wrinkles, I apply to those also. And on top of it, I am just using the Coca-Cola red eyeshadow, because the eyeshadow doesn't really stick on the latex, so it's good for doing some shadowing, so the red is a little bit blended more out. And I move it on to the eye, and I am just using this black eyeshadow on the edges, outside edges, and just making the inner and outer corner of my eye more black. And with the white paint, just highlighting. I actually added some tape on this head thing, even though later on when I was taking it out, they were so goodly stuck there that it was hard to get them out, so they would stick there without the tapes, but I was just scared that it's gonna drop off while I'm sewing these parts there, so I added some tape on all of those what are not showing in front. And since I was like bending to pick something on the floor, or I walked to the toilet, I was hitting my head everywhere, or my thing on my head, so it was quite good that there was tape, even though nothing bad happened because it stayed so goodly on. But now that those two other ones are sewed on there on the circle, I start shading these pieces again. And of course it would have been easier just to sew all the pieces and shade everything, but yeah, that is me doing things. And it is always nice to see on the other side when it's done that is good, and then continue to the other. So yeah, I'm just shading them, and also if there is some wrinkles, what has happened when I applied the latex thing, so I will be shading those also. And on top of it, I use the eyeshadow again. And for the outlines, I did use the Mehron's black paint, and with the small brush and fingers kind of like behind the latex part, I did line it with the black one, and also line the cracks a little bit with the black one. I made on the face couple of these kind of like stitched leather pieces also, except as I didn't know how this piece is gonna fit on my face, I just decided just to draw it here and not just cut it and stitch it, even though it would look more cooler that way. But I will do it this way. And I did cut some small pieces on the thread and added their glue, and then I stick them on top of there. They don't look as cool as it would have been as I would have stitched it for reals there, but it is okay. And I moved to the mouthpiece, so there's a little bit kind of like flesh showing on top of my lip, so I will be painting that on red, and then I did shade this mouthpiece all that same as on the other pieces. There was some wrinkles on my top lip and some other places where this mask didn't really fit, but I just used them to make like shadow them more so they wouldn't look like a mistake and they would look like they're part of this mask, so I was adding like some shading onto those also. I shaded my nose and nose sides with this red one and move it now to the mouth. So like on the every piece there I lined the black, so now I'm just lining this mouth piece with this black paint. And I am taking also black eyeshadow and putting that kind of like under this leather piece. I'm lining my bottom lip, and then I'm using the red liquid lipstick from Morphe, I think it's the Hot Shot, and just using that on my lips. Now that the lips are nice and red, I'm going over with this black paint, or I'm not going over, I'm just lining my lips with this black paint. And on top of this black line, I am taking white and lining the lips on top of that black. And also making the little lines on top of my lip with this white paint. And also making these little details on my lip. Taking black eyeshadow and just shadowing these lips a little bit on the corners and on the middle. Now that the other side is complete also, I'm just gonna add a little bit these same small thread details to this car, and this look is done after this. I made this hoodie before and I made it actually on my black backdrop since I did cut it a little bit smaller anyways, and this was my only fabric, so I just a little bit made it more like a hoodie than a fabric piece. But yeah, this look is done. I actually changed my contact lenses to the pictures. I actually take it first the pictures with these TTDI lenses, but since these are not showing that red because my eyes are blue, so I changed them to the Mesmer Eyes Sclera lenses, the red ones. They are pretty cool. And I actually also painted my bold there behind blacker because the white was showing there the line, so I painted it black afterwards. Since in the pictures the hands are painted, I decided to paint my hand also, but since I'm right-handed I couldn't paint with my left hand to the right hand, so I painted only one hand and copied that hand to my pictures, so I have both hands done. this look is complete. I hope you liked this video and give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and also subscribe to my channel. I still cannot say it right at the first time. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed and have a great day. Thank you and bye!